Are you ready for the first battle? Then let's light this up! Flank steak, rainbow carrots, the use of the food mill, breaded. Canned pineapple. Off to go, gentlemen.
Breading is leading me towards pounded and fried steak. I'm gonna use the rainbow carrots to make a shredded carrot salad and make a spicy pineapple sauce.
Thank you, guys. Little schnitzel for y'all.
I love making schnitzel. I know that standard breading is great, but even better is a seasoned breadcrumb.
A little pork rind in here.
Pork rinds have tremendous flavor, so I wanted to crush those and add that to the breading.
You got a plan, Chef? You want to talk to me?
Flank steak and pineapple curry. I make it every Sunday morning. Those are jokes, by the way, just for the record. And I'm gonna do a little carrot and chili pesto on top, but I'm also doing some fried flank steak at the end just to give a little crisp on the top. Flank steak to me is not as tender as everybody wants to make it. While it looks marbled, it's still a movement muscle, and so muscles that move tend to be more tough and need a little more time. So for me, I think braising the meat into a curry with the carrots, pineapple, and spicy chilies is really the right choice.
Judges, this is a Southwest Schnitzel. It's accompanied by a rainbow carrot and herb salad, and then a pineapple and serrano salsita. In terms of the use of the food mill, it was used thricely. Firstly, as a colander to separate the juice from the canned pineapple. Secondly, to crush the meat of the gently poached pineapple rings. From there, it was used to fine the sauce.
Randomizer-wise, I'm feeling this hard.
I'm loving the presentation of this. This is a TOC-worthy dish.
Wow.
I like spice. So I think the salad should have a little bit to lift us up a little bit.
What you have in front of you is flank steak curry. On that, you will find a little bit of rainbow carrot topped pesto. The flank steak has been breaded in onion snacks.
They use the flank steak in a very creative way. Finally, we go to something with some spice.
The pineapple chunks could have been cut a little bit smaller. When you take a bite of it, you do get that canned artificial flavor.
My favorite thing is that food milled pesto, because it has a lot of seasoning.
The winner between Chef Tim Love and Chef Rocco DiSpirito is... Rocco DiSpirito! Congratulations, Chef! Chef Love, this is really splitting hairs, and really the difference was the use of the randomizer. Come on, brother. Not the last you'll see of him. Legendary Chef Tim Love. Boneless pork chops, portobello mushrooms, air fryer, creamy, bread and butter pickles.
It's not bad.
All right, go.
Tiffany!
Chef, talk to me. You have a plan?
I'm gonna make pork cutlet.
Okay.
I'm gonna brine the pork, pickle juice.
Perfect.
And with the mushroom, I feel I can make a nice, fun gravy sauce that's gonna be creamy with polenta and the little napa cabbage, bread and butter pickle slaw, and portobello mushroom bacon using the air fryer.
Chef, walk me through it.
Hi. Okay, so I'm planning on doing a breaded pork loin on a creamy polenta,
Okay.
hard seared mushroom, some pickled mushroom, and some fried mushroom.
Dope.
Yeah, we are. I grew up eating quite a bit of German-inspired and styled foods, so I am no stranger to schnitzel. Cornflakes. Thank you, boo-boo. I'm finishing with cornflakes and breadcrumb. Wow. I don't actually know how long it takes an air fryer to cook pork through.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it! Great battle. That's crazy.
You have a creamy duet on the bottom of your plate of a portobello mushroom gravy, accented by the other side creamy polenta. This is topped with an pickle brine air-fried boneless pork chop, then finished with a pickle dressed slaw and portobello mushroom bacon.
It's Alex Bonita and Wolfgang eating your food. You're gonna be a little nervous.
I think the air fryer did a great job with the pork chop for sure. Nice and crispy on the outside.
The creamy aspect of it and the pork chop
needed to feel more cohesive.
I am getting an ample amount of the bread and butter pickle. Not only in the slaw, but the pork chop was brined in it. What a great idea.
Judges, this is a fennel-dusted crispy pork with creamy polenta and a pickled portobello salad. The pork chops were done in the air fryer where the crust was set. The portobellos were done on the grill. The stems of the portobello were pickled. Finally, chickpea-coated portobello mushrooms that you'll see on the side.
It is not a creamy dish.
The pork chop, though, is really actually very, very good.
Portobello stems should have been sautéed before pickled because when you bite into it, it is like biting into a sponge.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the second battle of the evening, the winner between Chef Kevin Lee and Chef Casey Thompson is... Congratulations, Kevin Lee! I mean, it doesn't get any closer than this. You did a hard-fought battle. Little neck clams, broccolini, blowtorch, smashed, black tea.
Chef, when you have a plan, fill me in.
I'm doing little neck clams with andouille, charred broccolini, a black tea, clam broth, smashed potatoes.
Great.
Yeah, I want to make clams the star of the show. And I've got clams steamed with andouille, so they're spicy. See, I'm making my black tea broth.
Okay.
I don't typically cook with black tea in a savory fashion. I've used black tea in dessert in the past, and that works nicely with grapefruit. I'm gonna try to do that combination. Clam juice, some aromatics, vermouth, white wine, anisette. I'm thinking this is really a beautiful combination of delicious flavor. Torch.
Yep. So just like that, the blowtorch was utilized to flame off the trio of alcohols.
Chef, what's the plan?
Okay, well, I'm gonna make some green plantain, black tea tortillas. I'm gonna make an artichoke puree in the bottom, blanch and smash the broccolini.
Do you have a plan with the clams, Chef?
Cook them at the end with a lot of garlic, white wine.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start making the tortillas.
There we go. Smash egg.
So right off the bat, I want to make something different. That's why I'm making the plantain tortilla and the black tea a little bit more elevated. I want the judges to have a nice bite.
I have never seen a black tea and plantain tostada.
I don't know that anybody's ever had one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it!
Judges, this is little neck clams and smashed potatoes. A base was built of andouille, some smashed garlic, and some broccolini. On the other side of the stove, a clam broth was crafted. Broccolini was boiled and torched, which you'll find in the herby salad. The potatoes have been smashed, and the black tea was in the broth.
I mean, they're eating it.
The nostalgic component of the smashed potato with the clams is a little bit like clam roll beach vibes for me. I really like that.
The black tea, it has been steeped too long, which makes the overall broth read really bitter.
The potatoes are cooked perfectly. It gives a great contrast to the broth. The clams are very good.
This chef has prepared for you little neck clams with green plantain and black tea tostones, with a crispy smashed and torched broccolini and black tea artichoke puree.
I like the clams a lot. I like the way they're cooked. I love the broccoli with it.
It's not coming across as a cohesive dish. It is 4 fantastic ideas not having a conversation with each other.
Yeah.
There should be some sauce, some juice of the clams, something to bind it together.
The winner is... Adam Sobel. Chef Rabina, you are one tough cookie.
Yellow mustard, herbaceous.
Donut pan, leeks, chicken breast.
Chef, when you have a plan, fill me in.
I want this to be herbaceous. I'm doing a roasted chicken breast with mushroom, leek, shallot sauce, and a potato leek cake that's literally all fat.
So I'm gonna make like little leek potato cakes with some cream, Gruyere, and Parmesan, almost like a macaroni and cheese
but basically with leeks and a little bit of panko that's gonna hold it together.
Cool, where's that gonna go?
That's going into the donut pan.
Oh man, it's like I see the formula.
Leeks are like the fanciest onion you've ever had in your entire life. They're creamy, they're luscious, they're gentle. So I'm like, I'm gonna actually bake leeks and potatoes with cheese, almost like a gratin, if you will, inside of these donut pans. You forced me to make little tiny potato leek cakes.
And where would that mustard be employed? Somewhere
The
there
mustard is, have you ever had macaroni and cheese and like a gratin? You add a little bit of mustard to
Oh,
add.
yes.
Also a great emulsifier. Mustard seeds, of course, known for their mucilaginous properties.
That's what I was just about to say until you took the words out of my mouth.
Sorry, Guy.
When I hear herbaceous and mustard, I get inspired by a Mexican dish. It's called bistec ranchero with a pickled leek salad, if you will.
When you want to talk plan, you let me
Yes.
know, or else I'm out of your way.
So I'm doing a play on what we call bistec ranchero. So I start making the ranchero sauce.
Typically, mustard goes in the salsa?
Yeah, definitely.
It's going in my salsas from here on out.
Yeah, make a note.
I have done like mustard tomato sauces. Never done this before, but I'm betting on my sauce because it has leeks, it has herbs, and it has mustard. So it has 3 out of the 5 randomizer components. It's tangy, sweet, spicy, earthy, and herbaceous.
That's it. The final battle of the evening is over. Wow.
Oh, I forgot my leeks. I see my fried leeks still on the sheet tray with the rack, and I'm like, oh my God, forgot to put this on the top. I have not ever left something off a plate. Ever. Ever.
Judges, this is a pan-roasted chicken breast. It's accompanied by a leek and mushroom sauce at the bottom, and then leek potato cake to the side. The yellow mustard was employed in the leek cream that found its way into the potato cake, and then also in the mushroom mixture at the bottom of the plate.
Oh my God.
Really a great dish.
The potato was the perfect vehicle to carry all that and the leek.
I do think that the chef missed the opportunity of really embracing the herbaceous aspect that was given by the randomizer.
There's so many herbs in there.
Judges, in front of you, you have a yellow mustard ranchero braised chicken breast. That is served with an herb and buttered cilantro rice, herb pickled leeks, crispy leeks, and chicken chicharron.
This chef took a supporting cast and turned the leeks and the herbs into the star.
So many flavors in there. So much complexity in there.
It just needed a little bit more time to be crispier.
The highest score of the tournament thus far. The winner is... Antonio LaFaso! Chef Maria, watching you win in the qualifiers, I think everybody became a fan.
It was an honor. Thank you.
Turkey thigh, Yukon Gold, toaster, nutty, and vanilla bean. How are you, Rockstar?
Oh, so good.
You got a good idea where you're going?
I'm gonna grind the turkey. I'm gonna put it with a little Szechuan peanut sauce for like the nuttiness over roasted potatoes.
Got it.
The reason I don't like turkey thighs is they can just be a little dry. So I grind in a little bit of guanciale and pancetta. Not enough to overpower the turkey, but just to add fat, make it a little more moist and delicious.
In the words of Lil Wayne, we over here hustling, we over here grinding.
Just gonna turn this into a quick little turkey sausage, hopefully. Add in my Szechuan peppercorn, and this is gonna help kind of celebrate the flavors that'll be throughout the rest of the dish.
How are we doing, Chef?
So we're gonna make a vanilla Yukon Gold brown butter mash.
Yep.
We're gonna nut crust a turkey thigh, and then I'm gonna make a light herb salad.
All right.
In order to get the vanilla flavor into the potatoes, I opted to steep my milk with a vanilla bean pod that should sweeten it up and lighten it.
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it.
is a vanilla bean and nut-crusted crispy turkey thigh that is served with a nutty brown butter and vanilla Yukon Gold mash. On top of that, you will find a toasted pine nut and Yukon Gold herb salad.
How does one toast pine nuts in a toaster?
Tucks them in an aluminum foil packet and toasts away.
Why does Alex look confused?
I don't think
Oh, good. Here we go.
that I can cook a turkey thigh this well, and I'm super angry about it.
It's nice and crispy. The only thing I really wish that I have in this dish is a lot more acid.
If I had one thing, I wanted to see more of the Yukon Golds.
Judges, this is a Sichuan and vanilla bean turkey ragu. It's accompanied by vanilla-infused Yukon Golds with a toasted scallion and vanilla vinaigrette.
This is dynamite.
This is really delicious. The potatoes are nice and luscious. The vanilla bean, I'm not getting any of it.
It's in everything.
I'm a little on the fence about how much I like the turkey. They try to make it to a sauce, but I would have preferred to see it something a little more substantial. But that being said, it is delicious.
And the winner is... Michael Reed! Wow! Congratulations! Iron Chef, love having you here. You have a title and a reputation no one can ever touch, and we all love seeing you coming to compete.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thanks, everybody.
Mackerel, red radish, spice grinder, grilled pretzel sticks.
It lends itself to pickled mackerel, which is like a traditional German dish I cook a lot. We're gonna grill radishes. I think I'm gonna make a kind of like a radish top aioli. So putting a bunch of apple cider vinegar, caraway, fennel seed. Yeah, just all those like yummy pickle spices. Because mackerel is such a fatty fish, acid just really enhances the flavor of the fish. Let's just go for the jugular and pickle the whole thing.
Chef, welcome back.
Glad to be back. How you doing?
Perfect.
I'm gonna do a classic saba shiroyaki. Start portioning that mackerel.
Saba shiroyaki is one of the most classic Japanese dishes. It is salt grilled mackerel with grated daikon on the side. But instead of grated daikon, I'm gonna grate some radishes.
I'm sorry, look at the technique, please. There's nobody that was doing a happy mackerel dance like he was.
Yeah. Mackerel is a really fatty fish, so when you score it and you grill it on the skin side down, what happens is that fat drips through all that score and it crisps up that skin evenly. I don't want to sit there regretting that I didn't give it my all.
See if this will work.
And lastly, I dust this mackerel pretzel furikake on top.
10 seconds. 4. Great battle.
Judges, this is saba shiroyaki. It's accompanied by a red radish salad and a pretzel miso sauce, and the mackerel pretzel furikake that you find scattered about the plate. Of course, that was accomplished with the spice grinder.
Oh, I don't want to watch this.
I think this dish actually transported me into Japan.
Oh, snap.
The crispiness on the skin from the mackerel is expertly done.
It's so wildly clever. I wouldn't have minded a little bit more assertiveness with some acidity.
See, I knew it.
This mackerel was cooked perfectly. It just had that translucence going to perfection.
I present to you pickled and grilled mackerel with grilled radish top aioli. We then have the pretzels that have been used in the spice grinder, creating a little bit of a soil on the bottom.
A really beautifully cooked piece of fish. I love the brine. It's been given like an added juiciness.
The bigger radishes, they're a little bit raw. It's a little hard to eat.
But the mackerel itself, I love the way it got transported to something different.
The winner of the second battle is... Shota Nakajima. Chef Brittany, fantastic dish. You're an amazing chef. This will not be our last rodeo.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Brittany Anderson.
Oh.
Pork loin.
Okay.
Anaheim peppers, the electric carving knife, stuffed sunflower seeds.
Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna use the pork in 2 ways. I'm gonna do a grilled spiced pork loin, but I also wanna do the Anaheim stuffed with some pork.
Okay.
So the first thing I do is get the Anaheims on the grill. Get them charred because I need to remove that skin.
So the Anaheim pepper is a variant of the New Mexico pepper. It was, I believe, transported to Anaheim in around 1894. They can be from green to red and a pretty nominal Scoville. That's how spicy it is.
The pressure is definitely there. I don't want to go out on my first cook. You know, the whole reason I came to the TOC arena was to show the world that I could stand neck to neck with some of these amazing chefs.
I'm going back to the OG days.
I love it.
I'm gonna roulade out the pork tenderloin, and I'm gonna do an Anaheim salsa with charred tomatillos.
Okay.
There's 2 different styles of tomatillo salsa. There's raw and roasted. So I wanted to go with a roasted.
Chef, how you doing?
I'm great. This technique for me is new. I love this. When you char the tomatillos and you char the Anaheims, blisters the skin and it gives it a roasty flavor. It cuts the rawness of the chili, but I do kind of feel that Anaheim can be very grassy and one note. So we're gonna utilize a couple peppers here. We're gonna use some guajillo, dried.
Okay.
We're gonna use a fresh ancho and then grill the items.
Cool.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it! Down to the wire.
This is a spice-crusted pork tenderloin, accompanied by a pork tenderloin and mortadella stuffed Anaheim pepper. Sunflower seeds made their way into the salsa, and then finally, the electric knife was used for plating the pork tenderloin.
Oh, Alex Cornicelli, please don't break my heart.
I would say this dish, dare I say, could use a little more fat. I want to wear elastic waist pants for a reason.
On this pork tenderloin is textbook perfect.
Malin!
Had a touch of pinkness. I love that. And Anaheim chilies, I love the presentation of it.
Thank you. This is an Anaheim and sunflower seed stuffed pork tenderloin with grilled Anaheim and sunflower seed salsa, a hoja santa cilantro, and Anaheim chili rajas.
So beautifully carved out to do everything. Tiffany, everything, right?
Chef, yes.
I love the technique here. The best thing of this dish is this salsa.
My piece of pork is a little dry.
I agree. And I sort of wish that more deeper chilies hadn't been recruited because they end up weakening the Anaheim.
Moving on to the second round. The winner is... Kalina Bliss! Chef Cosentino, sorry you're not moving on, but it was awesome to have you perform.
Thank you.
Chef Chris Cosentino, thank you, Chef. We're excited to have you. Top sirloin steak, mustard greens, French press, whipped, and cheese curds. Feel good about this?
Yes, chef.
Know where you're going?
We're gonna do like a poutine sauce.
Okay.
I am making a coffee-crusted top sirloin with braised mustard greens, a coffee-infused poutine gravy, whipped potatoes. Coming around, it's gonna be very hot.
So am I.
Me too, baby. First thing I wanna start on is my poutine gravy. You start with your vegetables and get them nice and charred so that you can get that deep flavor to really make sure that you have an umami sauce.
Make some coffee, Chef.
Coffee, oui. What the coffee is gonna do for the gravy is it's gonna add it depth and also it punches up the beefy flavor of that top sirloin. And then I'm gonna fold in my cheese curds because I want them to get a little bit melty.
Hey, Chef.
Coffee.
Yummo, Chef. Dang. Weaponized.
Chef.
So I'm gonna do cream barbecue with like a kimchi kind of fondue over some kimchi fried rice.
Okay.
So the first thing I do is marinate that meat in like a really umami bomb-filled marinade because that top sirloin is super tough. Shoyu,
Garlic.
ginger, garlic, onion, sesame oil, sugar, pear, because the pear has some enzymes in the fruit that are almost like a natural tenderizer to meat.
Does pear work as good as ginger or pineapple?
I think they're kissing cousins in the enzyme game. Breaks it down pretty quickly.
Say that 5 times fast.
Kissing cousins in the enzyme game.
I was kidding.
All of the marinade going into the French press.
Yes. Normally use a French press for coffee, like I would, but at the end of the day, it's just one long-looking strainer. I get the steaks on the grill. I want to get a nice char, nice caramelization.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it!
Coffee-crusted top sirloin. It's accompanied by whipped potatoes, braised mustard greens, and tempura mustard green frill. And it's enrobed in poutine demi. The French press was utilized to craft the poutine demi.
I think the crunchy tempura on top is great. I ate the whole thing like an animal.
No.
Yeah, I did.
This flavor combination with the mustard greens, with the demi and the cheese curds are fantastic.
If I had to nitpick here, I could have said the steak wasn't as crusty as it could have been.
May I present to you Korean barbecue top sirloin with mustard green and kimchi fried rice, whipped kimchi curd sauce, mustard green salad. The marinade was made in the French press.
It's so nerve-wracking.
The beef is delicious. It's tender, but the texture of the steak and the rice are too similar.
Got it, okay.
This dish is a flavor bomb, like through and through. This is the type of cooking that I want to see on TOC.
I love that this chef really broke everything down and then put it back together in their own way. I love this dish.
The winner of tonight's battle is... Wow! Dude, I gotta tell you something. The world better watch out for Cristo because he is on fire. Shrimp, okra, crinkle cutter, glazed, legs.
All right, Tiffany, we're going somewhat southern here.
You have a plan, I have a pen. Let's go.
One of my favorite ingredients in the whole wide world is corn. That plays into that southern style of okra and shrimp cuisine, so we're doing a little shrimp and grits action.
Shrimp is so simple that I want to do it 2 ways. I'm making shrimp crudo style, almost like a ceviche. And also, I'm gonna do a Parmesan baked shrimp with okra and Parmesan grits. Lemon juice is usually very prominent in ceviche. Some vinegar, just an easy, quick preparation. Now that the ceviche is going, I want to try to get a good crust on baked shrimp. I'm using a little bit of heavy cream, panko breadcrumb, and a lot of Parmesan cheese. Making 2 dishes is a bold move, but I didn't come to play safe.
Get it on.
3, 2, 1. That's it, stop! Boy, both of them were right to the wire.
You have pancetta, Calabrian chili, and raspberry honey glazed shrimp. That is on a bed of brown butter and egg yolk creamed polenta. You then have a celebration of okra that is grilled, pickled, and fried. This chef cut everything with a crinkle cut cutter except for the pancetta.
The shrimp is great. I get the glaze on it. The polenta is nice and creamy. The egg whites, they kind of fight in this polenta. I do think that it could have been used in a different way.
The shrimp is a little bit sweet for me.
I think this dish has a lot of personality.
I want to hear this.
The shrimp's perfectly cooked. It's definitely high on flavor.
This is baked shrimp and grits. It's accompanied by a shrimp crudo done with a fried okra and okra mayonnaise.
Wait, he did 2 dishes?
The vegetables in the okra have been glazed with saba. The hard-boiled eggs were placed into a blender with the okra puree. The crinkle cutter was used to chop okra, chop garlic, the shrimp, bell peppers as well.
I'm going to start with the crudo side. I like the fact that the shrimp has been celebrated. I do need more acid in it. The shrimp has been cooked well, though I wish that the coating had adhered to it a little bit more.
I love the crispiness of the okra. The mayonnaise is smart. And then on the shrimp and grits side, good use of the crinkle cutter on the peppers.
On the shrimp and grits side, the glaze on the okra I think is really nice.
I think overall, really yummy dishes, but by giving so many components, we are comparing one side to the other side.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the First Division C battle between Chef Joe Sasto and Chef Fabio Viviani is... Congratulations, Joe Sasto.
Congratulations, brother. Thank you.
Chef Fabio, I mean, the creativity, come on,
Yeah.
dude.
I tried. Go big or go home.
We expected nothing less of you, Chef. Chef Fabio Viviani. Lamb loin chops, Romanesco, halogen oven, colorful, orange marmalade. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Chef, I see you're butchering some loin chops, but not others.
Correct. I want to do 2 applications on the lamb. A couple of tostadas. So one is going to be like a lamb tartare tostada, and I'm going to do a charred one as well.
I knew that I would need to add more flavor to really make it an authentic salsa. The tomatillos, the peppers go directly into the halogen oven. I really want to be able to use that heat and release the oils, get some char.
I'm going to finish up the tartare real quick.
Okay.
And I'm going to work on all the other things for the
other tostada. So I cut the loin, really mince that up. It's a delicate dish, so you kind of want to go easy with the seasoning.
I'm just gonna make a fast Romanesco puree.
Okay.
And umami glaze lamb loin chops. My first objective is the idea of satisfying the colorful aspect. A lot of my food in general is very colorful. I mean, I live in Hawaii. Romanesco is part of the cruciferous family, and the flavor is not that different from cauliflower. So I made a Romanesco puree. It's basically meant to be this binding sauce on the bottom of the plate.
If I took the lamb and I just did it one way as lamb tartare, my thought is I'm gonna get dinged.
The other one, I'm going to get it started in that, and then probably finish it on the grill, get some nice char.
Chef, what was the marinade?
I got some achiote.
Achiote paste, correct?
Yeah, yes, mainly for color. When you heat blanch like that, it allows the marinade to work its way into the meat.
Stop working! Stop working! Get those judges back in here.
Judges, the chef calls this a tale of 2 tostadas, one of lamb tartare and one of charred lamb loin. The lamb tartare was done with some salted egg yolk and a little bit of the orange marmalade. The lamb loin chop for the charred lamb tostada started in the halogen oven and then finished on the grill with a little bit of that orange marmalade as a glaze. For the Romanesco, you'll find that in the green salsa, pureed with a little bit of orange marmalade, and then also in vegetable medley with, you guessed it, orange marmalade.
The lamb was cooked perfectly on the grilled lamb side. The tartare for me tasted good, a little bit more salt would have pleased me a tiny bit more.
I understand.
I love the sweet, spicy balance with the lamb loin. I love all the salsas on there I thought were really nice.
I don't see how the halogen oven was unique in this preparation. They could have used it on the grill and it would have just been the same.
In front of you have a halogen reverse seared lamb loin chop with an umami orange marmalade glaze. On the bottom, you have a Romanesco and goat cheese puree that is accented with the halogen roasted Romanesco. You would then have a pickled Romanesco and colorful cruciferous friends salad.
I love salads on top of protein.
The Romanesco puree binds this entire dish together. It's really, really luscious. The Romanesco could have used the halogen oven a little bit more.
The lamb is perfectly cooked, and I adore those candy striped beets.
And the winner of tonight's second battle between Chef Leanne Wong and Chef Chris Scott is... Leanne Wong! Congratulations! Dr. Chocolate, awesome to have you back in the competition. And I'm sorry to see you go, but hopefully we will live to cook another day. beef chuck. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love me some beef chuck. Haven't had one as a steak recently in 30 minutes, though.
I don't think so.
Same thing with the beets. Box grater, spiced, and then butter crackers. Now you would like me to sit here and chit-chat so you can think about this for a little bit longer, but we're just gonna go.
Chef,
Chef.
when you have a plan, I have a pen.
Yeah, we're gonna make beef avocado gnocchi.
Yep.
Do a beet and beef ragu. We're gonna get the box grater going ASAP with those beets, and then we're gonna focus on the beef. Beets.
Rendering the fat, Chef?
Yes, it's gonna be probably for the greens, maybe for the ragu as well.
We love it.
And seam around the silver skin, just using that top piece at first.
Chef, are we going to the grinder or going straight
No,
into
I'm gonna
the...
hand cut. I don't think I got time. We only got 30 minutes, and I
Okay.
want to get that flavor developed. Berber. There it is. This Berber spice is gonna bring ginger and peppers and peppercorns and a little bit of heat.
That's going to become a ragu. So berbere is a North African spice going in on top of that. There's almost no better spice to kind of encompass that qualifier than berbere.
We over here hustling. We over here grinding.
We over here grinded. I'm doing a Moroccan spice kefta or meatball.
Pancetta also going in, Chef.
Pancetta, yes. I feel that spiced is driving me in a really specific direction.
Chef, did the Ras Al Hanout get in or not?
The Ras Al Hanout is in with the shawarma spice.
Got it.
I am going to use Middle Eastern spices. I'm using Ras Al Hanout. I'm using shawarma spice.
Your breadcrumb, Chef.
The crackers are going to go in here. We're also going to use them as the topping.
Pretty fun use of both the box grater and the butter crackers. I love when we can tick 2 boxes at once.
No pun intended.
Indeed. They were grated to kind of form the breadcrumb mixture that would go into a meatball, and it looks like we're having a Moroccan spice meatball.
I worked at a Middle Eastern restaurant for a very long time and studied under brilliant chefs. And so these flavors are something that I'm really familiar with. So I feel really confident that I can not only balance the spice, but really elevate them.
That's it! What a battle. Thank you very much. The bearded baller, the fox. Awesome third round.
If you remove the lid, you will find in front of you a berbere, spiced beet and beef chuck ragu. That is met with a beet and ricotta gnocchi. Then there is gojukaru and suet spiced braised beet greens. Also, the suet toasted butter crackers.
I love the presentation. When you open it, it almost seems like it's a jewelry box. The colors are so bright and so inviting, which also comes through in the taste.
The chuck is a little chewy, but I like the way this was done in this short amount of time.
I actually like my chuck a little bit more chewy, so it's kind of perfect for me. And those crackers, the way that this chef incorporated them was just lovely.
Judges, this is a Moroccan spice kefta. It's accompanied by shawarma spiced beet chips and a za'atar labneh. Some of the butter crackers were run through the box grater. It was hit with shawarma spice, Ras Al Hanout, and then some wild rose harissa as well.
Oh, that sounds good.
Great use of the beet, and it was a perfect sort of way to quickly cook the beef.
Labneh is wonderful. I love that the beet juice found its way into the meatball, right? And I also am, a really salty person, but this is a little bit too much for me.
It is over-seasoned. So all of these beautiful spices are being overshadowed with the very generous amount of salt.
Chefs, thank you so much. The winner of the battle between Chef Kara Kudowitz and Chef Jonathan Sawyer is... Jonathan Sawyer! Wow! This isn't the last we see of the fox. Ladies and gentlemen, big thank you, Chef Kara Kudowitz. Venison rack, oyster mushrooms, the juicer, loaded, and then crystallized ginger.
All right. Justin.
Yes.
What am I doing here?
You're gonna tell me once you have a plan.
All right, I'm gonna attempt to stuff these racks, actually.
I'm looking at oyster mushrooms and I'm thinking, oh, it's duxelle.
You like oyster mushrooms?
I love oyster mushrooms.
Highly prized in many Asian cuisines.
I'm gonna make your oyster mushroom loaded venison chop with a red curry base.
I'm gonna put some the ginger in here too.
Crystallized ginger is not a wild card for me. I cooked with a lot, I grew up eating it. I think it's also great with venison.
Let's start getting a sear on those guys.
The gaminess will play well with the sweet kind of herbaceousness. I usually come in trying to make Asian dishes. I'm just leaning into the flavors of the ingredients on the randomizer.
Wow, it's a lot to do. I gotta get focused here.
Chef, welcome to TOC. Big brackets.
Your girl is here.
Duck fat.
And I plan on showing some teeth.
Chef, do you work with venison a lot?
I actually do. My grandfather hunts venison for our family every year.
Shut up.
I had my first venison hunting experience last December.
Did you catch yourself a buck?
We did.
Oh, that a girl.
Venison is something that I work with pretty often because it is wild game and it's indigenous to the Americas. So I was super excited that I could flex a little bit. I want to cook a mushroom-loaded venison chop with a wajapi berry barbecue sauce.
I'm gonna juice some of my berries, kind of like a berry barbecue sauce wajapi.
Blackberries and venison love each other.
They love each other.
Wajapi barbecue sauce is something that I make all the time. Something in my arsenal that I wanted to bring out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it!
That's it.
Yes, chef.
Honorable judges, this is a loaded venison rack. It's accompanied by an oyster mushroom loaded chung fun and a host of aromatics from the juicer. Crystallized ginger is found in that mushroom filling, in the sauce, and then also as a sprinkle on top and on the plate.
This is what TOC is all about.
My chop is a little bit overcooked.
Oh.
But it had that really delicious loaded stuffing that I didn't care that much.
I really enjoyed the loadedness of it. Craveable, for sure.
My queens, I present to you an oyster mushroom loaded venison chop glazed with a blackberry wojape barbecue sauce that is then garnished with a crispy oyster mushroom on top. It is sitting on a stuffing of grilled oyster mushrooms. Crystallized ginger was put into both the oyster mushroom stuffing and also into the blackberry sauce.
The way that it was loaded like that, I thought was just great.
Ooh-wee! The stuffing, there was some fat in it. Instead of olives, I think it would have just been much more successful.
I don't get as much ginger as I would have liked.
The new high score at TOC of 91. No. And the winner of tonight's final battle between Chef Jetila, Piet Spain is... Chef Jetila! You cooked as if you were in your own space. You had a very clear vision. I love that you brought that together with your heritage. So blessed to have you.
Thank you.
Piet Spain, great job.
Thank you.
Country-style pork ribs, which I do love. Jalapenos, stand mixer, battered, and cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon sticks, yeah. Chefs, we're gonna get right to it.
I'm making a delicious, juicy, welcome back, country-style pork rib steak, glazed with some kind of a cinnamon glazy sauce. And then I definitely want to fry and batter those jalapenos. I think that's going to keep it simple, but it will bring a lot of flavor as well.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna do a meatball wrapped in a beer batter and like a nice stout, a little pork and jalapeno with Oaxaca cheese inside of it. The whole base of it is going to be a dark mole rich with cinnamon, chilies. Yes, I'm gonna get that stuff going right away, just kind of roasting.
Plus a stand mixer. It's not just a mixer. This is an incredible tool. And with the grinder attachment, my mind immediately thinks about meatball or a bondiga.
I'm gonna use that stand mixer mainly for the grinder to mix my meatball. Also, it gets nice and like fluffy and whipped.
Grind and whip, chef, heard.
Mole in 30 minutes is basically impossible. But I know that if I get this going right away and if I focus on my technique, I can make it happen.
4, 3, 2, 1. That's
This is cinnamon glazed country style pork ribs. It's accompanied by jalapeno battered jalapenos and an ají amarillo sauce. The jalapenos met their fate in the stand mixer to form a batter. The stand mixer was also employed to craft the ají amarillo sauce, which you'll find at the bottom of the plate.
Really good cooking. You have jalapeno in there, but to balance it off with ají amarillo, I just think it's really smart. It gives you a bright color and really delicious balance.
The flavors go together so well. So perfectly balanced. If that chef wanted to get higher points on using that stand mixer, maybe they would have used more than just beater.
I think the batter is a little bit clunky with the jalapenos.
Now I'm scared of my batter.
But overall, great presentation, nicely executed.
I present to you a battered albondiga with Oaxacan cheese, sitting on a Oaxacan-style mole. Let's start with our country-style pork ribs. These were fabricated and ground through our stand mixer, ground with jalapenos. The jalapenos were also grilled and then used as the base of the mole. Finally, they were grilled and then pickled to garnish the side of the plate. And the cinnamon was the beginning of the toast of your mole sauce.
I think this chef cheated. I think the chef started an hour earlier, knew what they were making. I'm really a little bit speechless.
Even the quick pickling of vegetables, and in this case, the jalapeno. A quick pickle like that is not easy to do, and the texture is amazing.
I just wanted something that would just lighten and brighten up the dish.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the first round battle between Chef Amanda Freitag and Chef Carlos Anthony is... Carlos Anthony! Chef AF, I'm sorry to see you go because we know when you cook, we're going to get the next level.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Amanda Freitag. Denver steak, turnips, V-blade mandolin, charred, prepared horseradish.
I think I'm gonna make a charred Denver steak with a turnip puree, charred baby turnips, and also fresh horseradish, preserved horseradish, remoulade.
Okay, we're blanching the globe of the turnip and then keeping the greens completely raw to char them. That is some next level thinking around cookery. That's really, really cool. Smart cooking. I love smart cooking.
Chef, when you have a plan, fill me in.
Kalbi with different forms of turnips.
Okay.
But I want to cook this steak like kalbi, which is generally marinated short rib. First and foremost, I want to make my marinade, add a little bit of horseradish to kind of bring out some of that spicy notes, and then get it in a vacuum sealer to really let that marinade penetrate my Denver steak.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's over. Second battle of the night is done. Could be a tough one for the judges.
This is a horseradish and turnip marinated kalbi. It's accompanied by a turnip green and horseradish salsa verde, and then pickled turnip wraps. So the chef has designed these pickled turnips to be used almost like a taco for the accompanying meat.
One of my favorite things in the world is kimchi, but it's not one of the key ingredients into this dish, and does challenge the horseradish a little bit to come out.
I agree. My palate had trouble finding the horseradish through the kimchi, and it would have been great to have some grated on the side just to remind us that that was there.
Denver steak is tough, but overall, I mean, it's tasty. I would say it needs more flavor. Overall, a good dish.
Chefs, may I present to you Urfa charred Denver steak. That is on a puree of globe turnip and prepared horseradish. It is then accompanied with charred turnip green remoulade that also has prepared horseradish in it.
Love the idea of the remoulade, but again, it could have been more seasoned. I mean, in general, I think it's a good dish.
Love the char as well. This is what I'd like to see on a steak like this, is a char like this.
The turnip horseradish combo here is both stunning to look at and really delicious to eat. I think it's really smart. It's bitter, but it's not overly bitter.
The winner, the second battle is... Congratulations, Sarah Bradley.
Good job. Thank you. Good job.
Chef Dale, I think the biggest thing that got you here was when you make that horseradish compete with the kimchi, I'm thinking it's what took you out. The boogeyman, Chef Dale Calde. Turkey breast radicchio, I like that. I don't know that I would cook it in a double boiler, but that's fine. Citrusy cantaloupe.
Does radicchio go well with turkey breast? I don't know. But the best way I'm gonna use the turkey is to fry it because it's turkey. No shade to turkey lovers. And so I'm making a turkey cutlet with a radicchio citrus salad.
Hello, chef.
Oh, it's heavy. Okay.
No matter if I'm cooking for 1,000 people or if I'm cooking for a table of 10, I keep one foot in Mexico, one in the US, honoring my creative process and my ancestors. But turkey breast is my least favorite protein because you need to do a lot of work to make it palatable. But I actually love radicchio. And the style citrusy doesn't scare me at all. It's actually my wheelhouse. We lime and salt food in our culture, usually even before we taste it. So I'm gonna make turkey carnitas with a cantaloupe flavored pipián and a braised radicchio. Carnitas is usually a pork shoulder that is cooked with some orange juice and then a lot of lard. May the best woman win.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both of them right down to the wire. Thank you very much.
Judges, this is turkey tenders. It's accompanied by cantaloupe and radicchio salad. You'll also find on the tenders themselves a cantaloupe and citrus sabayon. The cantaloupe was used in conjunction with the double boiler. The cantaloupe was blended with a healthy amount of lemon juice and then mounted with some eggs and butter in the double boiler to create a sabayon of sorts.
Breading and frying the turkey, brilliant, but I wish I would have had more sabayon because I really needed more citrus.
I actually love the balance of the dish. I mean, I think, yep, maybe a little bit more acid, but I'm impressed with the crispiness of the crust.
Turkey is hard to make really delicious, but this is delicious. And that bite, that salad here is incredible. I love that.
Judges, may I present to you turkey carnitas. This is turkey carnitas with a cantaloupe and cashew pipián, seared in citrus-dashed radicchio on the side, salad of cantaloupe, caracara oranges, and nopales. The cantaloupe was peeled and put into a double boiler, creating a little bit of cantaloupe stock in the bottom, and also lightly steaming the cantaloupe. You will then find that lightly steamed cantaloupe and the cantaloupe stock in the salad that is to the side of your radicchio.
Thanks, Tiff.
Love the sauce, love the citrus. I would have loved more of a melon component to it.
There was a lot of melon in that.
The fact that someone's really trying to use turkey, which is a very simple thing, in a complex way. But I have to say, I don't think it's very successful in the sense that the turkey itself is overcooked.
The turkey breasts are a little bit overcooked, but there's a lot of positive in this dish.
The winner is... Nini win! Congratulations! Chef, this is not the last we will see of you because you are a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank
Chef
you.
Claudette! La Jefa! The final battle of the first round. I didn't know how mussels were going to be paired up, but mussels fennel, milk frother, seared, and quinoa. I think that's a good randomizer for the final challenge. Chefs, let's go!
Chef.
Sir, thinking coconut curry. I want to get the quinoa on first. I'm going to chop up this garlic. I'm going to chop up some onion, sear that, add the quinoa, toast that a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of dashi just to amp up some seafood kind of flavors.
What are we throwing in there?
A little bit of dashi into the quinoa.
Yeah.
Add a little more je ne sais quoi.
Justin brushes his teeth with dashi.
I'm trying to put a lot of intention and thought into everything I'm doing, and fennel is delicious, it's refreshing, and goes perfectly with mussels. So I'm searing the fennel, and I'm hoping that it caramelizes quickly.
So Chef David's coming in hot from the qualifiers. He's already cooked in this kitchen, and I feel like you can see it in his moves. He's moving with purpose. There's no deer in the headlights for Chef David.
Chef, when you have a plan, I have a pen.
Mussels with a white wine broth.
Okay, we're gonna open it in that.
Yep.
Great.
Quinoa, it's not something I use often, so I'm adding the pancetta. I wanted something salty to go into my actual quinoa. I want to build bold flavors. I'm grabbing seafood stock.
So we're just gonna hard sear those tomatoes,
Yes,
Chef, is that the
ma'am.
plan? Okay.
Yes.
We're searing tomatoes!
I love to compete. I love to battle. I am an extra ball player, so this show right here is perfect for me. So get ready to come in and win it all this year.
That's it!
Yeah. Woo. In front of you have fennel roasted mussels with a seared tomato and white wine seafood broth. You have pancetta and fennel quinoa, seared garlic bread, and a salad of fennel and cilantro. The milk frother was used to make a compound butter that was slathered onto your bread that is garlic, fennel, salt, and pepper.
There's some good cooking going on here. Garlic, mussels, fennel, all the good stuff. I wish the pancetta and the onions were seared a little bit more.
I'll take that. You gotta say something.
Everything is so perfect about this dish, but it's so imperfect. Well, it doesn't add or it doesn't distract.
That was absolutely confusing.
Yeah.
Too perfect.
The mussels perfectly cooked.
Yeah.
Seasoning, I thought fantastic. I'd like to see more fennel, more emphasis on the fennel because that was the big thing.
Right.
Just say it was great.
This is a mussel toast with caramelized fennel and quinoa. The mussels were taken from their shells. That cooking liquid was then mixed with coconut milk and reduced. That milk met the milk frother, and that froth was scooped from the pan and placed directly on top of the toast.
This is a dish that you need Charlie Palmer to pay the bill for. This is fancy. This is high-end and fancy.
I think this person took the difficult road, right? I think, and maybe that's what I've tried to say earlier on, but it's that detail that is just so impressive.
I was really feeling so good right now.
I'm glad Charlie's gonna pay the bill.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is fancy. This is high-end.
Honestly, I would gladly pay the bill for this dish
Yeah.
because I think it's that spectacular.
Yeah.
It really is a great dish.
In the battle between Chef Tobias Dorzon and Chef David Viana, the winner is... David Viana! Wow! Wow!
I'm a fan, Doug.
I'll get you some, baby. Good job.
Chef Tobias, there's no question we will see more of you. You are a champion of champions. Love you, brother.
Yes, sir.
The triumphant Super 16 are ready to step back into the arena. How long have you two known each other?
Almost 20 years. We've never competed.
Well, shouldn't I be the amalgamator of trouble? Grouper, parsnips, meat slicer, high-end lunch. 35 minutes. Let's go.
When I think high-end lunch, it takes me back to New York, and I want to do something really light and simple, but also kind of decadent. I'm going to make a pan-seared grouper with a fish fumet and white wine cream sauce.
Justin, how are you?
Hey, good to see
Let's
you.
go to Tostada Land together.
Tostada Land.
We're gonna make a tomatillo salsa. We're gonna char up some tomatillos right now. We're gonna do some pickles with the parsnip.
When I think of a tostada, I generally think a snack or an antojito or an appetizer. I think getting a tostada to perform in the high-end lunch is going to require a lot of work from Chef Jonathan Sawyer.
Chef, when you have a plan, I have a pen.
Little parsnip puree.
Okay.
With little seafood stock, shirodashi, cream sauce with caviar and herbs.
I actually take my parsnip to the meat slicer to slice it up rather than cutting it by hand.
Oh my God, so scary.
I'm gonna make sure that I use the meat slicer as many times as possible. I get them in with some butter, garlic, cream, a little shirodashi. I love shirodashi. I literally sleep with a bottle of it next to my bed. It's just got the pure flavor of the sea. I definitely want to include in this dish to bring up all those seafood flavors.
My goal is just to keep it simple. I usually come in, I do way too much.
I left last season feeling spanked and defeated by Queen May. I need to break my second round curse, and I'm gonna do that today by keeping super focused and playing to that randomizer.
We're gonna go ahead and slice the fish on the slicer, but first I gotta bang through this cabbage and parsnips to make a nice little cumin slaw. Gotta use that randomizer, baby. Then I slice the queso fresco. Number 4. 4 times. Jay, you got me?
Yeah, I got it.
And lastly, I'm ready to slice my grouper. Has this ever happened before?
I've never seen
I've never
anybody
done it.
put fish on a slicer.
I gotta get those points.
Personally, professionally, I'm focusing on today. And I gotta win today to get to tomorrow, and that's all I need.
Thank you so much.
Judges, this high-end lunch is a grouper tostada. It's accompanied by a cumin and parsnip crema, a parsnip slaw, and finally, parsnip pickle. The meat slicer was used to get through the cabbage, the parsnip, and the grouper, but also through the cotija.
I wish the presentation was a little more buttoned up and a little prettier.
Great use of the randomizer with all the slicing that we did on the slicer. I am a huge fan of fried parsnips, so I love seeing them.
Gari parsnip is absolutely spectacular. This is a beautiful street food, but feels high-end, and that's what this dish really does.
Really good cooking.
In front of you have roasted grouper with a parsnip and herb fumet, finished with a little bit of caviar. On the side of that, there is a luscious parsnip puree that is then accompanied with a raw and crispy parsnip salad.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. It speaks, reads, looks like a high-end lunch. Yes. The end felt a little bit rare, so I think my fish is a little undercooked, I must say.
One of my favorite parts of this dish is actually the salad on top of the puree, where you have textures galore. And I love like the high-end sauce with the saltiness of the beautiful caviar.
My grouper was cooked perfectly.
Yes!
I feel like it finished cooking on the way to the judging table, which is really the intention of well-cooked fish.
Winner of the battle between Chef Leanne Wong and Jonathan Sawyer is... Leanne Wong! Chef, it was a dynamite cook. I'm so proud of you, the 2 wins that you've had in TOC 6. This is the bearded baller on his way to gaining the recognition and the wins that he deserves.
Thank you.
Okay?
You're amazing.
Love you, man.
Appreciate you. Love you. Great cook. Love you, girl. Go win the title.
Whole lobster, English peas, vacuum sealer, Sunday supper, and it starts now.
Butter Daddy is back.
You know it. This randomizer is totally working for me. Family inspiration hitting hard right now. Every year for my grandfather's birthday, he always requested a lobster. So I already know I'm going country-style polenta because that's what my grandmother would have done, with some butter-poached lobster and peas.
Sundays is one of my few days that I get off, and as a dad that has a little 6-year-old Mackenzie at home, it's one of those days where we try and cook together as a family. On Sundays, we do risottos, pastas, so I'm gonna make a lobster and pea risotto.
I really don't want these lobsters or the peas to overcook whatsoever. So I'm making sure that I have that ice bath there to shock them and really stop the cooking process.
Shocking, Chef.
Very. Polenta screams Sunday supper to me because you can feed a lot of people with a little amount of polenta. It's something that if you're gonna spend a little bit higher on a protein, you can add polenta because it offsets it.
Looks like we're gonna see some lobster and polenta, family style.
Okay.
I like what we're seeing here in building this polenta. Looks like a little guanciale just made it in there as well.
Cooked guanciale or just flavoring with the guanciale?
Just flavor. I like a heavier, rich polenta. Polenta's not supposed to be light and delicate. It's like that rib sticking, gonna fill you up sort of thing.
What's the plan for the lobster?
We're gonna break it down raw and then cryo back the claws and the tail.
Okay.
And we're gonna lightly poach it in the cryovac bag.
Okay.
We're gonna make a shellfish stock with the body, yeah.
I know risotto and peas go really well. My main concern is, can I get it cooked in 35 minutes?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good job, dude. Risotto, you're a beast.
Chef Britt, Chef Michael, well done.
Judges, this is Grandma's country polenta with poached lobster and peas. The tails, claws, and knuckles were separated. They were placed into the vacuum sealer with a heaping helping of butter. The peas form a puree. This is a visual play on the tamale of lobster.
I like that they haven't stopped eating.
I think that that was a super smart move to pair the lobster with polenta because that took away that fanciness and brought it right down to what we would have for Sunday supper.
If you ever wanted to have a cooking class on how to cook lobster, chef here showed us.
I can cook a lobster, baby.
The texture of that polenta is textbook, but there's a lot of parm on here. I think that kind of takes over a little bit from the lobster flavor.
My grandmother never stopped with the grater.
Welcome to Sunday supper, fam. In front of you have chunky lobster risotto with an English pea and mint puree. You then have English peas, asparagus, and melted maitakes. Every part of the lobster was used. The tails were put in the vacuum sealer and dropped into a boiling pot of water, thus creating a little bit of lobster stock.
Well, they're eating.
I love peas and mint. It was such a great addition to the plate.
Kudos to the chef here for understanding flavor combination. Mint, peas, asparagus, lobster. Yes!
I think the biggest flaw in this plate is the risotto itself.
Really?
I would have kept that fricassee exactly what it is without the addition of the rice.
Come on, buddy.
The winner of the battle between Chef Britt Persigno and Chef Michael Reed is... Britt Persigno!
Good job, man. Thought you had it.
Chef Michael, it's a tough loss tonight, Chef, but I tell you something, I thought it was a fantastic dish.
Thank you.
Chef Michael Reed, ladies and gentlemen. Delica flowering cauliflower, Cornish game hen, flowering cauliflower, salamander, weeknight dinner. Feel good about that? Doesn't really matter because we go now.
Weeknight dinner for me is all about cozy flavor profiles. When I'm sick, my mom makes udon noodles. I'm gonna do noodle soup, add some Cornish hen to that.
I'm in the Super 16 going up against Chef Shoda. He's a super talented chef. This is my second ever cook. There's a lot to be worried about, but I love weeknight dinner. My style, it veers towards more casual.
Hi, Chef.
Hi.
Let's get after this.
Just cut this up real quick first.
Chef, do you have a plan?
I'm gonna do noodles. I'm gonna chop this up and then throw it in the salamander, char them up, pressure cook it real quick with dashi. The Cornish hen, I wanna use it a few different ways. I'm putting it under the salamander to get a nice char on it. The good old render the fat move. I'm gonna put some of this oil on top at the very end. I'm gonna get the extra skin and the meat with extra skin and bones, put it in the oil to render it out.
Cornish game hens are essentially little chickens. I am saving the breast and the wing and then the thigh and the leg, but I am separating both of those pieces, so I'm pretty much like quartering it. Me and my guy, we just got a grill this year.
Okay.
So we're gonna do grilled Cornish game hen. Probably finish it a little bit with the sally.
Plans for the salamander?
I want to char some of the cauliflower in it. I think I want to lean a little Asian with this. I want to do a bunch of different pickles, maybe like some kimchi with it.
With the cauliflower, okay.
That's it! Stop!
For a lovely weeknight meal, you have the lettuce wrap rice bowl. In the chef's words, choose your own adventure. You have a shoyu and gochujang marinated Cornish game hen, finished in the salamander. Underneath that, you have, in the style of kimchi, the flowering cauliflower leaves and stems, and a little bit of sambal. From then, you also have the flowering cauliflower. You also have a little bit of maitake roasted in the salamander.
They are digging in.
Say something.
I don't know who this chef is. I want to go to their house for a weeknight dinner.
Oh my God.
This is just easy to love. But, you know, with 35 minutes on the clock, I really wish that they had taken that time to cook this rice from scratch.
This is so craveable. There's some heat. There's some apples to take off the heat. No matter how you're gonna package it, it's just what you wanna eat every weeknight, sticking to the concept, and that's what's cool about this.
He didn't say anything bad.
This is very, very difficult to find fault with.
Yes!
Even though it's packed with flavor, nothing seems like it's complicated. Just delicious.
Oh my God! This is the best day ever.
Judges, this is a Cornish hen dashi soba. The Cornish hen was butchered, thrown under the salamander, and from there it was used as the bone component in a kombu dashi. Then the thighs were placed under the salamander. Flour and cauliflower were done in the salamander. Some of those were then separated and vacuum pickled. Some were presented raw and salted.
Whew, I'm nervous watching them eat.
Cornish game hen, not dry, beautiful kind of caramelization on it. Love the cauliflower as well.
These noodles are cooked to perfection. However, it's hard to get the depths in the dashi in a short time.
Man, really? I thought that had a lot of flavor.
You don't get the same level of umami. Just wanted just a little bit deeper flavors.
I have a chance.
Tremendous amount of work done in this plate. I think the broth is delicious. Certain parts of the chicken that I tasted had a tremendous amount of flavor. Other ones were kind of maybe a little disjointed.
The winner of the third battle of the evening between Shota Nakajima and Chef Kalina Bliss is... Congratulations, Kalina Bliss!
Thank you, Chef. Great to have you.
Chef Shota Nakajima! What? New York strip, chanterelle mushrooms, French fry press, go-to takeout. That's it.
That's it. Go-to takeout does not match well with New York steak and chanterelle mushrooms.
Audience, give it to me. 3, 2, 1,
Takeout, so we gotta really walk toss it. Go-to takeout. I love this. This is my kind of cooking right here. This is stuff that I was literally born to make. I've got to make something that fits in a box. I'm going Thai or Chinese from where I came from. Spicy basil beef stir fry. Chanterelle fried rice. This is what I've been cooking since I was 10 years old.
All-American takeout.
Say more.
Burgers.
We're burgering.
I'm grinding that beautiful steak.
Oh, it's a risk. It's a risk, and I'm here for it.
I know. The judges are gonna want to see that steak in the final dish. If I grind this, they might just think I used ground beef, so this is a huge risk, serving something that's not gonna look like the item on the randomizer. Now, in order to really double down on the randomizer and the idea of a French fry press, I'm gonna French fry press potato fries.
Third arm is the belly, chef. There it is. Take out all your anger on the French fry press.
4, 3, 2, 1. That's it! We asked for go-to takeout, they deliver.
Judges, this is Thai spicy basil New York strip. It's accompanied by a chanterelle fried rice. The stir fry was built of vegetables that had passed through the French fry press.
This is the takeout place you save because you want to make sure that you remember it every single time.
The takeout challenge is super difficult to do right. Chef, wherever you are, chef, you nailed it. This is super delicious. Yeah. This is really fun and understanding and owning the concept, really embracing the concept.
Whoever the chef is, and if the chef even has a restaurant, my advice to the chef is close the restaurant.
Yeah.
Right? And open up a takeout.
Yeah.
Yes. We've got 160 of them, Nancy.
They haven't tried mine yet.
May I present to you the Too Good To Go chanterelle loaded burger and fries. This chef fabricated the New York strip and ground it. The chanterelles were cooked in a light caramel sauce to form the ketchup. The fries were Idaho potatoes put through the French fry press. Last but not least, you have pickles that were Persian cucumbers.
Chef Scott?
Like, this is so good, it actually makes me angry.
Whoever the chef is, put everything they had into this burger. I mean, using everything from the randomizer, this chef really worked them into everything. The fries, the ketchup, the bun, the meat.
Good move, Joe.
Talk about nailing the concept, making it craveable, having a playfulness with this incredible pickled cucumber. They just nailed it.
When I dry my tears.
The winner of the final battle tonight between Chef Jet Tila and Chef Joe Sasto is... Joe Sasto! What?
I love you.
I love you, brother.
Oh my God.
Jet, I cannot believe that this is the end of our TOC 6 run, but I will tell you what, we will see him next year, I guarantee. Jet Tila! Pork. Pork porterhouse chops, delicata squash, tortilla press.
Oh, man.
Guy's birthday. All right, you want to know what Guy's birthday is? I want you to think about what you would cook me for my birthday. One food descriptor each. What is your word?
Messy.
Messy, really? What's yours?
Sweet and spicy.
Fantastic. So, you got a hot, messy, sweet, and spicy battle on your hands.
I'm going to make nachos with Korean chorizo with delicata squash queso sauce, because what other food do you know that is messier than nachos? Nachos!
Chef, when you have a plan, fill me in.
Okay, I'm gonna be doing stuffed delicata squash, sausage with the T-loins and some bacon.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna marinate these.
I like the idea of Guy's birthday. I wanted to do something celebratory for Guy, and everything revolves around the pork porterhouse. So I removed the tenderloin. I wanted to stay true and cook a portion of it on the bone. Then I'm going to make a marinade. Soy, some sour orange, some mayploy. Mayploy is a sweet and spicy Thai condiment.
So in one ingredient, the sweet chili sauce satisfying a
Exactly.
sweet and spicy component.
Working smart, working smart.
Chef, what's the story on these chops?
I'm just gonna let them marinate as long as I can.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna grill them, glaze them, make them sweet and spicy like you.
Yeah.
Squash going in the cream. I'm gonna make a squash
queso sauce for the nachos.
Porterhouse pork chop is very hard to cook because the chop and the loin is all in one bone. They cook very unevenly. So I'm going to separate the chop and the loin off the bone and use those two proteins differently.
So grinding it with the fat cap, Chef.
Fat caps on,
Heard.
get nice and fatty. It's gonna be kind of like chorizo, Korean chorizo.
A chorizo, is that what we're calling it?
Chorizo.
Are we grinding those aromatics in here?
Yeah.
Smart, smart, smart.
I got serranos going in to make it spicy.
It's very risky to take a primal cut of meat like that and grind it into something that's not recognizable. But this is TOC 6. If you're not willing to take risks, you should stay home.
That's it! Yeah! What a great battle. What a crazy battle. I don't know if I've seen that one coming.
Judges, our chef calls this a celebration of pork porterhouse with squash 3 ways. First off, the tender was separated from the porterhouse. That was formed into the sausage that was then stuffed into the delicata squash. And the chop aspect was marinated. Sweet chili sauce, fish sauce, soy sauce, some sour orange.
I think Scotty likes it.
The tortilla press was used to smash, or squash rather, the fried delicata squash.
What a dish. But is it messy? I don't know.
I mean, there can be messy, and then there's kind of a finesse and messiness, if you will. And I think that this was messy.
I like those really big assertive flavors. Fish sauce and Calabrian chilies. I like that direction.
Starting with the pork porterhouse, and this is a tricky piece of meat to cook, and this is absolutely perfect. I appreciate the smashing element of the squash. I liked that. Very successful dish.
Culinary legends, I present to you sweet and spicy Korean pork porterhouse nachos, delicata cheese sauce, crispy and spicy delicata rings. Chef separated the loin from the chop. Ground pork then becoming a chorizo, a Korean chorizo, if you will. The pork tenderloin was put on the tortilla press to make a cutlet that then became the galbi.
Hear the crunch.
Even though it's a simple dish, it's nachos, it's not simple. There's a lot of technique that was used in this dish. That's obvious. It's a big risk, and it's really brave of this chef to take a pork chop because it's the star of the dish and then just break it down and grind it.
Let's go! Well, very smart to slice the tenderloin. Why not slice a little bit of the other side and use some of the sirloin? I think that contrast could have been evolved a little more.
I love the textures, the sweet spiciness, the development of flavors. And also, it really speaks to you, Guy.
Hot mess. Yeah. And the winner of the battle between Chef Kevin Lee and Adam Sobel is... Congratulations, Kevin Lee. You gotta promise me you will stay in the mix of TOC because you are a competitor we love to watch.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I will. Take this, baby. No mercy.
No mercy.
No mercy. Guy, thank you.
The one and only Mr. Delicious. Chef Adam Sobel. Beef tenderloin, shishito peppers, immersion blender, champagne brunch, and chef's respin. Which one would you two like to agree on respinning?
I say style.
You don't want to do a champagne brunch?
I'm not a brunch person.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm a gentleman. Style. Do it. Come on, champagne brunch.
It could be champagne brunch. I'm okay with that.
Champagne classic, updated classic.
Updated classic can mean a lot of different things, but steak and potatoes are like a very classic thing, and that's the first thing that goes to my mind. And I can update that in a ton of different ways.
Chef, when you have a plan, fill me in.
I'm gonna do a play on steak au poivre with shishito, green peppercorn au poivre, and then steak frites.
It's an updated classic for sure.
I love the idea of champagne brunch. It really leaves the door open to tons of different avenues. Shishitos, boom, boom, boom. But an updated classic, this is difficult. I think that if I can do something very risky, showcasing my technique, but also something that nobody's ever had before, I think I can win this round. Okay, I might be crazy.
Well, you are.
Right.
Start there. Now let's talk about what you're making.
I think I'm gonna take on beef tartare with lots of chilies and spices and kind of take plays on those natural things, you know, make it unique.
Young Carlos has been doing nothing but swinging for the fences and taking risks.
That's it! Come on! Chefini win! Carlos Anthony!
In front of you, I have a tataki-style tenderloin tartare. On top of the tartare, there is an ají amarillo and citrus yolk. That is accompanied on the side with a shishito tomatillo sauce. Finally, we have a little bit of crispy plantain on the side.
Just please, please, please like it.
This is a classic, a modern twist on a classic, but it's also playful.
Come on, baby.
The tartare is just absolutely delicious and tender, and the way that they cut it was really, really well cut because you can mess that up.
I think this shishito tomatillo salsa is money.
Your boy doesn't mess around.
The big wow element here is that they're searing the tartare itself. Well, if you're gonna do that, you know, go all in or go home, really caramelize it so you get that aroma and that flavor of the beef. Otherwise, it seemed a little bit pointless to me.
Judges, this is shishito steak au poivre. You will see that it's accompanied by a sauce at the bottom of the plate, shallot, veal stock, green peppercorns, and then a shishito cream. In terms of the use of the shishito, they were tempura fried, as you will see, accompanying the fried potatoes.
Fun. This is fun. Beautiful presentation. The cook on the meat itself is nothing short of absolute perfection.
It's really, really intimidating to do a simple dish on TOC, especially when there's so much on the line.
I think this is very successful. Fries are nicely done, shishito peppers 2 ways. Now, as much as I love this, it does say updated classic, and I'm not sure that pureeing shishito peppers into the sauce really updates the classic.
I feel nervous still, because like, did I go too safe?
And the winner of the battle between Chef Carlos Anthony and Nini Wynn is... Nini Wynn! Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Chef, congratulations. Carlos, the Carlos Anthony you've become is of another level far beyond. Great job. Rack of lamb, dandelion greens, meat grinder, and a date night dinner.
We got this.
Let's 3, 2, 1, go.
We are roasting the chops. Okay. I'm gonna put these to the meat grinder. Okay. And make like a crust with brown sugar this. I'm gonna make a little Meyer lemon puree and then a dandelion and mint broken vinaigrette.
Okay. So the first thing I get started on is the lamb. I'm gonna cut it into double chops. There's no way you can get a whole rack of lamb roasted in time. So by carving it just into double chops, I will make sure that the inside of the lamb is perfectly cooked. This dish doesn't have a lot of ingredients on it. It doesn't have a lot of things to hide behind. So if this lamb isn't perfect, they will know.
Okay, so rack of lamb, dandelion sauce with a red wine reduction as well. So like a double sauce, like a little green and a white. The sweetness of the red wine reduction will kind of accent the sauce that I'm gonna make from the dandelion greens. Maybe a little dandelion salad on top to cover. Potatoes.
Got it.
Very brave. You got to double chop. He's cooking in the pan, seasoned, then he's gonna probably finish in the oven. But those double chop cooks, we see so many of them in guys' grocery games. Scares me.
Push, David, push, push, push.
That's it! Someone's going on to the grade 8.
Chefs, in front of you, you have a roasted rack of lamb crusted with whipped Meyer lemon and pistachio. The pistachio was ground in the meat grinder. That's on a hachée of tahini braised sweet and sour dandelion greens.
It's craveable. Well done, chef. Deep, beautiful flavors. That texture of the pistachio as a juxtaposition of the lamb itself. Really nice touches. This is where TOC shines.
I definitely know lamb, and this is some of the best cooking I've seen on a chop in a very, very long time.
I think this chef putting 3 different elements through the meat grinder, it's kind of like just ticking the box for the sake of ticking the box, because you could have done the same thing with another implement. Perhaps a little more grinding with something that really needs a meat grinder to break it down might have been a better way to tick that box.
Judges, this is date night lamb with dandelion green sauce. The rack of lamb was basted with butter and thyme. The other rack of lamb was sent to the meat grinder. That was infused in the reddish sauce that you will see on the plate. Now for the dandelion greens, they were mounted with some creme fraiche in the blender. That's the green sauce you see on the plate.
That dandelion sauce is one of the better things that I've eaten in a long time. Because what knocks down the bitterness of the dandelions is that creme fraiche. You keep wanting more of it.
I like my lamb a little more medium rare. I think it was a little bit over, but still delicious. The potatoes added a nice little crispness to it, gave it some balance. This is a beautiful little date night kind of a dish.
Thank you, thank you.
You know, I will say sauce usage is the differentiator between good and great. And I think the sauce work of this chef is spectacular. Killer.
The winner of the battle between Chef Sarah Bradley and Chef David Viana is... Sarah Bradley! Wow. Chef David, you should be so proud of yourself because you did an outstanding job.
Thank you.
Outstanding job. Final battle of round 2 in TOC 6. Sturgeon, Tuscan kale, mortal pestle, gastro plate, and 2 amazing chefs. Go.
There's always one word on the randomizer that really drives the dish. Today it was 2. Gastropub. It's like, I live in a gastropub, and the fish. So we're gonna go classic fish and chips.
So I'm gonna do a version of fish and chips.
Yes, chef.
Tartar sauce, mushy peas. Okay.
Love it.
Thank you, guys. Gonna need all the help you can give me. Antonia owns a gastropub, so clearly this is an advantage to her.
But anytime you're battling against one of the greats like Antonia, a small detail could become a game-winning move. So I'm thinking bacon-wrapped sturgeon with a sous vide. It's a great opportunity to get the fish cooking and treat it with the care that it needs.
Antonia, I can't believe we're doing this!
What's going on?
Fish and chips.
I've been to England many times and gone on horseback to find the legend of the mushy pea that is served with fish and chips. I've really never had it in a way where I'm like, this is so good, and I'm like, this is my opportunity to redeem the mushy pea and understand it. So I grab already shelled English peas and I throw them into a pot of boiling salted water, and I let it cook for like days.
Just needs time in here. Chef, already on the sturgeon breakdown. Skin right off, we love that. Unpleasant. Can't really cook sturgeon skin. This is expert fish butchery.
A lot of bones in that fish. Sturgeon does need a little bit of fat. Sturgeon isn't the most fatty fish. And bacon and the smokiness that you get from bacon provide a balance in texture and flavor.
Chef, we bagging the fish?
I am bagging the fish.
Okay. Pretty smart stuff. It's gonna infuse the bacon into the fish. It's also gonna work to hold the bacon onto the sturgeon. Smart stuff. That's what legends are made of.
Like a sturgeon.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's the end of it, folks! The competition for the Sweet 16 is over. One of these two will be going.
In front of you, you have bacon-wrapped sturgeon with braised Tuscan kale, pork pate, and lardon. You then have a spiced date and kumquat jus. This dish is finished with crispy Tuscan kale.
You really have to do, in many cases, a multi-cook process. I get little hits of muddiness in it that I'm not too crazy about. But you want to know something? Judges say this all the time, but I really mean it. A really, really, really nice dish.
I think the usage of the kale with the pate doesn't work until you taste it with the sauce. And then it's like this explosion of flavor.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely think this is a dish you could find in a gastropub. It works well together.
The chef would like me to call this gastropub fish and chips. That fish and chips, it was done in a tempura batter. For the Tuscan kale, you will find it cooked in the mushy peas. Now you'll notice the chips, those were fried at low temperature and then done with that vinegar powder and dill.
I know they're trying to be evolved here and put the gastro in gastropub, but I think there's a happier medium perhaps to be found. Overall, a great dish, though.
That's a 10 out of 10 review.
You know, guys, we say in my country, forget about it. This is delicious. I don't think you could do a dish like this unless you've done this hundreds of times.
100 times. I'm going out on a limb here. This is probably the best fish and chips I've had ever.
What?
The winner of tonight's final battle is... Chef Antonio Lafaso!
You did so well.
Chef, congratulations. Chef Rocco. Love you, man. You're one of the
Love
best.
you too. Thank you.
Okay?
Take care. Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and
Thank you,
gentlemen,
everybody.
welcome to Spirit. Now the triumphant Great Eight are headed back into the battlefield to compete in what promises to be the most difficult quarterfinals in TOC history. Duck breast, white eggplant, bamboo steamer, fresh and fried umeboshi.
Chef.
Hello.
Speaking of chefy ingredients, how are you?
Oh, man, Justin. What a randomizer, huh?
Yeah.
Always my biggest fear is the randomizer giving my opponent the perfect jumble up for them. I know this randomizer is right on Land's wheelhouse, but I overcame that against Jet. So I really want to make sure I am bringing as many components of the randomizer together as one.
When you have a plan, fill me in.
All right. We're going Vietnamese.
Okay.
I want to make a dish that's inspired by the fresh and fried style that the randomizer gave us. So I know I want to do a fresh and fried Vietnamese style duck platter.
How are we feeling about this roll?
Feeling pretty good, honestly. I just came from Japan after opening my restaurant.
Leanne has a restaurant in Japan. A lot of these ingredients are used really frequently in Japan, like all of them.
I really want to create this light, flavorful dish that is reminiscent of like the end of summer. The umeboshi, the eggplant, the duck. So I'm going to make a pan-seared duck breast with steamed leeks, steamed eggplant, and eggplant tempura with this fresh raw eggplant salad.
Scoring the top of the skin of her duck breast, that allows two things, consistent cooking all the way through the duck breast. It also allows the fat to leach out and render. Also just gets it super crispy because of the fat rendering out.
Come on, let's go!
What a cook. Thank you so much.
Culinary luminaries. In front of you, I present roasted and bamboo steamed duck breast with a tail of fresh and fried white eggplant and leeks, adorned with umeboshi dressings.
Arigato, Tiffany. Hi.
We see everything on the randomizer. It's all very well shown here, but the skin maybe could use a touch more rendering.
I love that acid hit on that eggplant salad. They use these two beautiful textures of the eggplant. I thought worked really well with the dish.
This chef has a great understanding of Japanese cuisine and flavors and actually executed perfectly.
This is a fresh and fried Vietnamese-inspired duck platter.
Ooh.
You can build your own vermicelli spring roll. The fried component, obviously, is the egg roll. Duck breast was pan roasted and then glazed with an umeboshi glaze. The white eggplant you will find fried. You will find it pickled in umeboshi.
I always feel like as a chef, it's my job to build the adventure for who's eating it. I don't want to build my adventure. I want to sit down and eat. That being said, it all does work very well together.
I felt like that my roll, while delicious, was a little greasy.
I'm gonna not agree with my co-fellow chefs. This chef knew exactly what a traditional Vietnamese letter cup could be and took the randomizer and made it his or her own. The winner of the battle for the Division C title is... Leanne Wong! Congratulations! Chef Joe, you just rocked and rolled.
Yes.
2 gigantic wins to make it into the Great 8. You got to be proud of yourself. I sure am. Job well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Chef Joe Sasko! Beef oyster steaks.
Okay.
Avocado, pizzelle press, fruity and nutty, and in the wild card ingredient, longanisa sausage.
This is interesting.
Go.
I'm making a fruity and nutty farotto with seared beef oyster steak and a beautiful herb and frisee salad. And pizzelles.
Always happens, I can't find anything. To get to the top 4, I have to get through this not ideal randomizer, but I mean, that's the point. That's why we're here. This is TOC.
Coming in with the Avocado Express.
I didn't want avocado. Immediately, I'm trying to kind of think through the avocado. Avocados, I think, are difficult because they don't have a lot of flavor.
When you have a plan, I have a pen.
Would you like an herb and avocado marinade on the steak?
Why not?
I'm gonna make an avocado and herb grilled oyster steak with a spetzel tossed in brown butter, a cashew cream, crumbled longanisa sausage, and a fruity little salad on top. Garlic, yep. Let's do a little bit of onion. In the past, I've done green herb and oil marinade. Why not just throw in a little bit of avocado? It adds creaminess to the marinade, obviously. It helps thicken it. Again, like, this is the game of TOC. It's taking what's given to you and it's being creative.
Avocado marinade on the steak. Very smartly, tons of parsley, garlic, onion in there as well.
These particular steaks are really thin, so I want to get some nice char marks on both sides, and it's really gonna lock in that marinade.
Woo!
This is my very first TOC, so I'm really excited to go head-to-head with Britt because I've watched her compete. If you're in TOC, you want to go up against the best.
What's the plan?
Faro.
Okay. Nutty?
Nutty. Faro is naturally nutty. Farotto is faro that is cooked in the style of risotto. So it's creamy, it's luscious. Raisins.
In the pressure cooker with some veal stock, raisins, pine nuts, pistachio, and faro. So that's ticking the fruity and nutty combination in one go.
I'm gonna use the pressure cooker, which is so sketchy. I don't know what's happening in that pot, because once you seal it, set it and forget it, and that's my nutty component and my fruity component. Big risk, big reward.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it! Anybody's game right now.
Heroes of mine. In front of you is an herb and avocado marinated grilled beef oyster steak. This is served with brown butter and nutmeg scented Schnitzel on a little pool of toasted cashew, avocado, and apricot cream. It's then finished with a salad of longanisa roasted maitakes, parsley, and rehydrated apricot.
They're still eating. You know, nobody's like spitting it out.
This avocado cashew cream
Please, please.
is freaking delicious.
Oh my God!
To be a little picky, it wasn't as fine dining as some of the places usually are here.
I'm a rustic chef, though. I'm not fine dining.
Longanisa is something that comes from my neck of the woods growing up in Louisiana. Get some grill marks on it like they did with the pizelli. It just gives it that charring, delicious yumminess. I just really enjoyed this dish.
First of all, the dish was incredibly tasty. Beef oyster steaks, good seasoning, good char on the outside. I'm not sure if someone gave me that puree and didn't say avocado, that I would know that there was avocado present in it.
Judges, this is a fruity and nutty farotto with a seared oyster steak and an herb salad dressed with an avocado vinaigrette. The pizzelle maker was used to make the pizzelle in addition to cooking the longanisa.
It's seasoned very good, and it's eating well. The farro is the star of this dish.
It was a really smart move.
It has that risotto feel, even using farro, and the pine nuts and the fruitiness running through it works very, very well.
So even though everything's cooked perfectly on this dish, this chef definitely played it safe. I don't think that they took a lot of risk. And in TOC, this is the place to take risks.
All right.
This chef seasoned everything perfectly. It eats so well. The fruity and nutty just pops. It looks so bright and inviting. There's something fresh on top. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is... River Signo! For your first introduction, I promise you, this is not the last you will see of Kalina Bliss in TOC. Chef, thank you. Picanha, matsutake mushrooms, the Dutch pancake maker, salt and vinegar, and the Rhea egg.
Rendering the fat into some tallow here.
I think, you know, I hate to waste anything.
Where are we at?
I like the way Chef's fabricated the picanha. Chef took care to make sure that she was butchering it with the grain. If you start with butchering it with the grain, it'll cook and eat better. Chef, when you have a plan, I have a pen.
I'm gonna cook picanha. I'm gonna get black garlic, black vinegar, aioli, Rhea egg yolks. I'm gonna do the matsutakis a couple different ways. Cook, raw.
Watching Chef Sarah cook, she wastes almost nothing, and her cooking is spectacularly focused. This has quickly become one of my favorites in this tournament.
There you go. I love the liberal salt. You need that much salt with that much fat.
For sure, and time to penetrate.
Right?
I am facing Sarah Bradley. She's one of my closest friends. She is the person I call anytime I go to a competition because I love how her mind works. I hate that she's here, but may the best chef win.
Chef, when you have a plan, fill me in.
I think I'm gonna make grilled picanha with caramelized onions in balsamic vinegar and maybe some matsutake fritters.
Where are these onions gonna live, Chef?
They're gonna be on the bottom of the plate.
Okay.
Balsamic onions. I know that it's not quite just only vinegar because it's sweet, but I think a sweet onion that's vinegary is going to balance the steak and mushrooms.
Chef Sarah's done. Nini's done. God, I'm not making the decision.
Judges, in front of you, we have matsutake roasted picanha steak. That's served with matsutake Dutch baby pancakes. That is accompanied with picanha tallow roasted and grilled matsutakes. The side of that, you will find a salt and vinegar aioli.
While I think that this chef hit it 99.9% on this dish, I think they're lacking in the salt and vinegar. What this needs is just one hit of really good sea salt on top to bring it home.
This chef nailed the randomizer. The key to me was the use of the egg for the aioli.
So the aioli is awesome.
I was just like, what's he gonna say?
It has the vinegar, it has the deep flavors, it's salty, it has everything that you want in salt and vinegar world. It's just a really solid dish and it's fun to eat.
Judges, this is a grilled picanha with balsamic onions, rhea egg, matsutake, bangkot. The matsutake was boiled down into a stock. You'll also find the matsutake raw at the top of the plate. In addition to the mushroom in the bangkot, that of course was cooked in the Dutch mini pancake maker.
We'll see.
I love the treatment of the picanha. Incredibly tender. I like that little bit of fat cap. Perfectly cooked for me, perfectly seasoned.
The picanha is the star, and it really shines through.
The beef was cooked perfect, it was seasoned great. The mushrooms. I mean, this is the king of mushrooms. And I know that this chef went through a painstaking process to do this reduction, but I wish the mushrooms were showcased a little bit more. Balsamic, yes, is a vinegar, but it overpowered the mushroom reduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the battle for the Division D title between Chef Sarah Bradley, Chef Nini Nguyen is Chef Sarah Bradley.
No second place, man.
I love you so much.
Hey, listen, Chef Nini, it was outstanding to watch you cook.
Thank
so
you.
proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, Martini Nini, Chef Nini Nguyen. The only rematch. Question is, will the results be the same?
Pork cheeks, flat beans, pizza oven.
Smooth and crunchy, Mamba peanut butter.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna spice my pork cheeks with a lot of Caribbean flavors. I'm gonna make a corn puree, because hello, smooth. I'm gonna add coconut to it. And so I think all of those flavors are gonna marry really well with the use of peanut butter. All of this makes sense in my head, and I've never made this dish before in my life.
So I'm gonna make a little gochujang pork cheek ragu with like cabbage, carrots. I'm gonna pressure cook it with like chunks of pork cheeks in there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna serve it on top of polenta.
Is that our smooth?
That's my smooth. And I'm gonna do a little ground pork cheek and cabbage egg roll to go on top. The cabbage is gonna be crunchy.
Considering this is the only rematch in TOC 6 from the previous season, there's a lot of pressure. Gonna lock that thing up, crank it up, and pray that pork cheek comes out tender.
4, 3, 2, 1. Great cook. Really great cook.
You have a Korean pork cheek ragu on smooth flat bean polenta with a smooth and crunchy pork cheek and provolone egg roll.
Another bite, chef. There you go.
They are eating a lot of the food.
Can't believe I just made Ming-style egg rolls.
Really nice plating. Pork cheeks, it's so tender and luscious.
The only part of this dish that I wasn't as fond of, I didn't really love the cheese. To me, the cheese, the provolone threw it off.
I didn't taste the Mamba peanut butter. I just didn't get the flavor from it. It may have been because of some of the other chili-based sauces that were giving the heat to me.
Judges, before you is braised pork cheeks. They're accompanied by a coconut and corn mamba puree. And then chili Romano beans done in the pizza oven with some lime juice, chili crisp, and cilantro.
This chef is phenomenal. This chef has technique. Both of these chefs obviously can cook their behinds off, but this dish, it just came together.
Texturally, it's very nice. It's very smooth. Flat beans, I like both preparations, both julienne and pickled.
My nitpick is that the crunch isn't crunchy like the previous dish.
I agree, chef.
Of course, in comparison to an egg roll, it's not crunchy.
But a really well executed dish. This chef knows how to cook.
The winner of the Division A title and the last battle of the quarterfinals is Antonio LaFaso. Congratulations.
Thank you. I
Chef
love
Kevin.
this one.
Yes.
He will be back in TOC 7.
As long as she's not here, I'll be back. Please win it, so I want your picture up there so I don't have to face you again, Antonio. Come on.
I love you.
Win it.
Give it up for him, Dragon Slayer, Chef Kevin Lee.
Thank you, guys.
And only the final 4 chefs are left standing. Whole pompano.
Wow.
Figs, lava rocks, escabeche, and purple.
Purple.
But don't worry, we're gonna give you 45 minutes to prepare your dish. Good luck. Go.
Whole pompano is a beautiful fish, great skin on it, very light in texture. It's such a small fish. There's not a lot of meat to the flesh.
Kind of like the whole.
On the randomizer, it says whole pompano. We're gonna fry this whole thing.
I'm just gonna try this real quick. Let's see how this happens.
45 minutes goes by very, very quickly. Frying that tester fish immediately so that I can get the time frame right is really important.
Just a tester. I love the move. I love the look.
Whole fried fish.
Let's go.
I'm going up against Britt to make it into the finals. She has shown so much consistency. It's incredible. But Britt has actually never made it past the final 4. And it's not gonna happen today. Not on my watch.
What's the plan, Chef?
I'm gonna make like an Italian-style escabeche. I'm gonna do like a jardiniere pickle with it, with some cabbage juice. I am doing poached pompano escabeche style with a tostada, purple cauliflower, purple carrots, and cabbage. I'm gonna get started on my escabeche sauce. Escabeche can be turned into almost any cuisine. You basically need a bunch of acid, a little bit of fat, and some beautiful herbs. I've also juiced some of the figs, which actually added a little bit of viscosity and sweetness. The key to this is it needs to be acidic. Sour orange.
Sour orange, got it.
And balsamic.
Balsamic, heard. When given purple, you hope that something like this comes out.
4, 3, 2, 1. That's it! Semifinals of Division A, Division B are done.
Judges, this is whole crispy escabeche pompano. It's accompanied by a medley of pickled and purple ingredients. The figs were grilled on the lava rock and then accompanied by a raw yet acidulated preparation atop the fish.
They're eating a lot.
Did they not eat breakfast today?
To get to the semifinals and the finale, you need to take big risks. And I am loving how gutsy this chef was to take the whole pompano and to deep fry it, right? It takes time. It is beautiful.
The escabeche is probably my favorite part. I love the acid with the pickled chilies. However, I'm not getting that much purple. I was expecting a lot more purple just thrown at you.
The cauliflower puree kind of creates this dipping sauce, and the balance of the figs that are perfectly roasted against the balance of that acid makes this dish so craveable.
In front of you, you have pompano escabeche with a purple veggie escabeche, a fresh purple sauce of cabbage and fig, and a fresh masa tostada.
Look how cute my little tostada is.
The lava rocks were used to roast the pompano before it was finished in the escabeche of the purple pea flour.
I've got to comment on the tostada. It is so crisp. It is such a beautiful, you can hear the crackle of it. It is absolutely amazing, and I think that texture is required for this dish.
If I am going to nitpick, I don't see whole fish here, and
That's
I
fair.
do want that skin to be a little bit crispier.
Wow, what a stunner. I love the purple figs. I love the purple cauliflower. It's purple in your face.
I lost.
I do have to say that my pompano was undercooked. It was a little raw in the center, and I wish that the skin was a little bit crispier.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an exact tie at 82 each. There's one deciding factor that takes place in a tie, and that is that taste will prevail first. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the semifinal battle between Chef Britt Rosigno and Chef Antonia LaFaso is... Antonia LaFaso! Wow!
One day.
This is not even the beginning of the end of Britt. This is just stoking the fire and throwing maybe a cup of gas on it.
100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Angry Italian. Love you.
Love you. Blue silky chicken, sorrel, turmeric leaves, and papillotes. Black.
Congratulations, welcome.
Thank you. We end up with blue silky chicken, and I'm from Kentucky. What do you think I'm gonna do with it? I'm gonna fry it.
What are you thinking?
Nashville hot fried chicken?
Whoa. What's the steamer for, Chef?
And then papillote. So I'm doing crispy silky chicken and papillote potatoes in a silky schmaltz chili oil.
I'm just getting them warm while I work on some other stuff.
Leanne and I, we're playing for our family, for our communities. The matchup is gonna be so strong because we both have like a desire to make people's lives better by being here and cooking and winning.
We get the randomizer of the ages, right? Most people would run away screaming in terror. I was trained classical French, so I want to do this dish like truly en papillote. We're gonna do French Asian today. I am making black silky chicken and dumplings en papillote. In order to actually make this successful, I need to prepare every element that's gonna be in this, like before I can even start building my papillotes. But you know what? I've made it all the way to the final four. I wanna risk it all.
4, 3, 2, 1. Chef Leanne Wong, Chef Sarah Bradley, job well done.
Chefs, you have a crispy silky chicken with silky chicken schmaltz chili oil. That is accompanied with blackening spiced potatoes on turmeric leaf papillote, a sorrel, basil, and turmeric leaf puree, a salad of raw sorrel, leaf, and black plum.
The empapillote has provided so much flavor to those potatoes. There's some really smart cooking on this plate. It's really impressive.
There's this bright green over here, and there are these purple potatoes right over here. It really accentuates the black smoke right over here. I think it's really, really smart.
I really appreciated the chef's approach to the silky chicken because the prize meat on this bird is the thigh. I could have used a little bit more of that sorrel sauce because it gave the dish a really insane balance between the greasy fry, the chili oil, and then the acid coming through from the sorrel.
Judges, you may use the scissors or simply tear the papillote, and the sauce is to be added to the dish that you find inside. This is silky black chicken and dumplings en papillote. The silky chicken was butchered. The accompanying parts were used to make the sauce that accompanies, that is an ash jus. The breast was removed, it was pounded, and then filled with a mousseline of leg and sorrel.
It's like really nerve-wracking.
This entire chicken was cooked in here?
Yes.
Correct.
From start to finish?
Raw.
Yes.
Raw.
And the mousseline.
Wow! I'm sorry, that just blew my mind. Really? Because it's perfectly cooked. Like, this almost seems impossible.
And the fact that the chef has also wrapped the silky chicken with the turmeric leaf gives another layer of citrus.
The idea of en papillote, the chef did it twice, which is really, really smart. However, my chicken is eating a little bit dry.
The winner is... Sarah Bradley! Wow! Leanne, all that you've been through and battled in this last year, and for you just to even come back and compete with us was a blessing. Any final words besides, yes, Guy, I will see you next year?
Yes, Guy, I'll see you next year.
That's what I wanted to hear! Leanne Wong, thank you. Love you. Come on! Ladies and gentlemen, when I say that I have really saved the best for last, these two are the best, and this is the last battle of TOC 6. Wagyu beef, Huilacoche, sausage stuffers, hot and cold. And then the two envelopes.
I was like, oh, this is great. And then I was like, no, we have no idea what the two envelopes are.
The two envelopes, it's gonna be hot, spicy, and cold sticky.
The most challenging part of the randomizer this time is that we have a piece of equipment that literally only does one thing, and that's stuffed sausage. Whatever dish I'm thinking about needs to include sausage. I make sausage all the time. I make sausage in the restaurant, I do it for events. I know how to make sausage, and any of you who make sausage at home know that it's not that quick. And not made with Wagyu beef.
Monster.
Wagyu beef is a beef from Japan that is marbled with so much fat because the cows are literally fed sake and massaged. I understand completely well it's in the finale. Do I want to make sausage out of it? No.
I'm gonna actually just do the full sausage. So I'm gonna do two things with it. It's gonna be like a bangers and mash, but sort of Latin inspired.
Okay.
Sausage itself is gonna be very spicy to accomplish this spicy card that I got from the randomizer.
Then I'm gonna do more of a seared beef salad.
Okay.
I've been getting by with just very few ingredients, but this last cook against Antonia is really gonna push me to have to use more. I've gotta get up 2 different plates, and I want them to have different flavor profiles.
I'm gonna make this a little bit spicy. It's gonna be a sausage on top of a masa dumpling.
The hot dish, I'm gonna really embrace the corn aspect of the huilacoche. I'm planning on making chochayotes, which are little dumplings. I'm gonna have the huilacoche broth to poach them in with a Wagyu huilacoche sausage. For my cold dish, I'm gonna make a Wagyu ribeye huilacoche tartare. So I know that one of the first things I wanna do is get this sausage started.
Chef Sarah has her tenderloin. She's grinding that with the huilacoche, a good amount of spices.
I'm definitely gonna try to work some heat into there.
Chef, you familiar with A5? Used it a lot?
Not a ton.
Real expensive, that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love just chopping it up and putting it through a meat grinder.
Oh, literally neck and neck.
It's like a race to see who finishes their grind first.
This is weird, but yeah, TOC's weird.
That's it! What a final battle!
I still don't even know what happened.
Someone's going home the champ tonight! Thank you so much!
The first dish, which would be the dish to your right, that is our glazed sticky beef salad. The sausage stuffer was used to craft the sausage in the sausage vinaigrette. That was made with the Wagyu tenderloin. You'll see the huilacoche butter mayo blend, which is to the left of the salad. Onto the hot dish, the spicy Wagyu sausage and huilacoche mash. So the tenderloin was cubed, ground with a serrano, white vinegar, and egg.
You should put egg in it.
Then sent through the sausage stuffer.
That's smart.
Starting with a cold dish, this is my type of salad. I love mint, I love Thai basil, I love chives. So that trifecta really made this dish stand out.
This beef to me is not only perfectly cooked, but it's perfectly coated in that seasoning. I'm so impressed by how much work went into this.
The sweetness of that fresh corn plays so well with the smokiness of the huilacoche. Is a wonderful combination. I do want a little bit more stickiness on top of the Wagyu.
Oh, God.
Lovely salad with a very nice vinaigrette flavor. Delicious. And then, I can't imagine this just bangers and mash, but...
Well, what it is, right?
well, it looks like it, but it doesn't taste like it. It tastes really, really delicious. I still have my grandma's sausage maker at home. The sausage, which is so beautifully fashioned, and they're tender and very, very tasty. I think it's very impeccably flavored.
On your right, let's start there. This is our cold and sticky dish. We have a hand-cut Wagyu and huilacoche tartare with sticky date jam, kumquats, piquillo, and mint. Chef would like you to mix it up and stick it on the crouton.
And the sausage stuffer?
There's not.
Not on the first dish, Chef.
Not on the first dish, okay.
Dish to your left, chefs, is a hot and spicy Wagyu and huilacoche sausage. This is served with huilacoche chochoyotes, fresh corn, mint, serrano, and cayenne.
My favorite is the cold dish. I think this is a very well done steak tartare. Nicely hand cut. I like the combination of the jam mixed with the Wagyu beef. I could eat that in a restaurant with no trouble whatsoever.
You don't often find a Wagyu in steak tartare, and there's something that's so luxurious and silky about how that eats. I love the fresh herbs in there, and there's so much flavor.
Seems like they really like it.
I just wish that the chef had used the sausage stuffer in some way on this dish, because this is an absolute exquisite dish.
The crouton was probably one of my favorite parts of the tartare. It really added that nice textural relief. Going on to the next dish, I love chochoyotes. And this is a really, really smart play in utilizing the masa with the corn, with the huitlacoche.
The broth is delicious, and I really just want to go and have like spoonfuls of that.
The winner of Tournament of Champions 6 is...
For you. You so much deserve it.
Chef, I want to talk to our super freshman, first time in TOC, walk through 4 competitions like you had been here since season 1. You're amazing. Thank you, Chef.
It doesn't feel so bad to get second place. She beat me fair and square, and I'm really happy for her.
I don't know many people that in my life that I see work as hard, that are as dedicated, that are as focused. And Chef, you have come in here, you've won 5 in a row, and you are the new TOC champion. Give it up!
This journey has been so long. I was not coming back. It is the hardest competition I've ever been a part of, and I have finally won it. Having my daughter see me persevere through 6 seasons of it to finally win, it is so validating.
The TOC 6 champion, the Princess Warrior, Antonia Lafaso!
And the truth is, because I know how bad it felt to lose all of those years, to be so, so, so close, it makes this moment that much sweeter.